Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So, recently I've returned from overseas, from being there for around just over a year. And during my time there, I would regularly keep up to date with the news from the UK. I'd regularly keep in contact with friends and family, and talk about the situation of the UK politically or economically, whatever. And there was one thing that it had in common. Every single person had something negative to say. There was barely anything positive. And that got me thinking, because when I left around summer 2023, it was not that bad. It wasn't that bad at all, summer 2023. So whatever happened between that time and now, when I came back a couple of months ago, just before 2025, around 2025, it got me thinking, what the hell happened to the UK? Because I remember when I left, of course, after COVID, things were on the way up, you know what I'm saying? And then somehow things were on the way up, and then I don't know what happened. For some reason, long story short, I come back and then I kind of wanted to see it for myself, because when you hear things and when you see things for yourself, it's two completely different things. So now I'm back. The UK is worse than what I was hearing in the news. It's worse than what my friends and family was telling me. This is why. Listen, keep your ears up. This job market is absolutely insane, absolutely brutal, absolutely unsustainable. So as I returned back to the UK, one of the first things that I've noticed as I returned back to the UK is how moody and gloomy everyone is. People just look down on the floor, they don't even smile, they just look sad, they just look dejected, they look defeated. I'm thinking, is it just the weather? Is it just this winter? It's been a cold winter, whatever. But now even the sun is shining, nothing's changed. So which got me thinking, it can't be the weather. It's something a lot deeper. I think it's the fact and the reality and the realization that the future is looking bleak. Usually with hope, shall I take the jacket off, it's getting a bit too hot. Usually with hope, just hope in itself alone can fix an entire nation's mood. Because why? They can look forward. Do you know what? Cry now and then maybe laugh later. The fact that in the future it will get better. Just that hope in itself can make you work an entire year unhappy. Just because of hope, just because you know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But now, no one has that hope anymore. Everyone thinks the UK is going to be finished. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. So why try if there's going to be no light at the end of the tunnel? Why try? And this is reflective upon the people that you see on the street, everyday people, public sector workers. And as I mentioned before, the work and effort people put in is not being reflected in the salary that they're making. I see construction guys, I see roofers, I see all these labor guys that require skill in what they do. Remember, just because it's labor work don't mean it doesn't require a lot of skill. Just because they don't have a degree, it doesn't mean it doesn't require a lot of skill, time and effort in order to get into that industry. These guys, I see them making videos saying that they're not getting paid enough. They're working 12-hour shifts, putting their body at risk. Injury rates are high in terms of these kind of jobs, and let alone the weather conditions outside, rain, sun, shine, snow, ice, they have to work regardless. Yet they're complaining about their pay. Yet they're complaining about, and let's not even get into the tax. Let's not get into the tax. We're in a situation where now the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. Let me say that to you again. This poor man that's putting 12-hour shifts is getting poorer, while this rich man, respect to him, but at the end of the day, there has to be some sort of relative justice. And there isn't when it comes to the tax brackets. And I'm going to even go as far as saying, even for immigrants, it's not an attractive destination anymore. You know, before immigrants used to come to the UK, work really hard, send a bit of money back home, invest, and then maybe return, whatever. Now, if you come here, the people that are skilled are struggling. Skilled workers are struggling finding jobs. Imagine someone that doesn't understand the language, someone that doesn't understand the tradition, how the UK works, they will find it 10 times harder. Before, when immigrants used to come that didn't speak the English language, the adaptation process was easy for them. Why? Because there were jobs that are available and the entry requirement wouldn't be as high, just so that they can be allocated into that job. Now, people with degrees are working in warehouses. People with degrees are getting rejected from warehouses. And this is down to the fact that there's just not enough jobs. The economy is down, the economy is low. And I think a lot of it is to do with the reckless spending during the COVID season, where people just gave money left, right, centre. People just took money left, right, centre, not knowing that one day that money has to come back. That's what a lot of people forget. When people borrow money or when they get given money by the government, that money somehow, somewhere, some way, it has to come back. And that's the situation that we're in. So that's the job market and just the general mood of people out of the way. The next reason is the politics. I have never seen the UK divided like this before in my life. I have never, ever seen the UK divided like this. Usually, there's one side that are happy and another side that are sad. And then maybe swap around. And then this side that was sad before, now they're happy, the other side is sad. Now, the left, right, every single political ideology, every single people, that whatever you follow, the Conservatives, the Labour, whichever side you follow or in between, Nigel Farage, whatever it is that you follow, every single person is just not happy. I don't know why the reason that is. Maybe the right man is not in charge of the job. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to politics and whatever. But maybe that might be the case. The right man is not in charge. But then can you say that though? Because now, if you look previously, the other two people that were in charge, they didn't do much better as well. So now it's kind of almost like, okay, so if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Who the hell do you give this job to? It's almost an impossible job. You got to kind of almost feel for these guys. It's almost an impossible job. And regardless what position you hold, there's always going to be one hand tied behind your back. You can't really do exactly what you want because you have to answer questions to people that are higher up than you. And regardless whether you're Prime Minister or whatever, there's always someone that's in a high position than you. So politics-wise, alongside the misery of rising living costs, moody people, lack of job security, when you put all these things into place, now you're dealt with a nation that is just absolutely crumbling. Because the nation is built upon hope and happiness of the people, of the everyday people, the average people. Now, the average people have been put at the back of the queue, And a country is made up 9% of average people. And if that 9% is being ignored, what do you expect? I think it's only a moment of time before there's like a huge protest, which has already happened during my time I was away. Yeah, I've never seen the UK this unstable before in my life. And I'm afraid to say the future doesn't look any more hopeful, honestly. Because how can you recover from this? If it's going to get any better, it's going to have to get even worse before it gets better. And anything worse than this, then it's going to be testing times for a lot of people. And apparently, there's a stat that said that around 10,000 UK millionaires have left. The UK is the second nation that had the most millionaires exit the country. So now, these millionaires, then they're going to get taxed. These 10,000 millionaires, then they're going to get taxed from the UK. And that's going to leave a big dent in the taxman's pocket. So what they're going to do? They're going to have to increase the tax even more so the average person can accommodate for the people that left. Does that make sense? Because that's what's going to happen. Regardless how they put it, that's the only way it's going to break even. And it has to break even, or else they're going to go in debt. More debt than they are in already. And the average man is almost trapped because he can't just leave the UK. His entire livelihood is here. If he leaves the UK, where is he going to go? You get it starting over again. It's going to be even that might put them in a worse situation than they already are. So for the rich people, they can leave. They just can't call it a day. They can't get a new property somewhere else. They can't set a business somewhere else in Dubai where there's no tax. Their life can significantly improve by leaving the UK. Whereas the average person, not really, because they don't have enough capital to buy property, to rent property in another country. They don't have enough capital to set up business. They don't have enough capital to, move their entire family and start again. And if it goes wrong over there, what are they going to do? They're going to be left stuck. So it's almost as if the average person in the UK right now is like, yep, you're here, this is what you deal with. They have to deal with everything that gets thrown their way. Why? Because they're not in a place or position financially, because this is what it's all about at the end of the day, to do anything about it. Which brings me to potential solutions, because with problems, you have to bring solutions or else it's just going to be doomy and gloomy. And this is a solution that I can think of. Biohacking. No, not biohacking. Geohacking, sorry. Geohacking. And what geohacking basically means is, you take advantage of the economic strength of your salary into another country. So, for example, say you earn dollars or pounds, and then you move to, say, Thailand, where the average salary in the UK or USA, in Thailand, you will live like top 5% easily. Your pound and dollar will go far. And then maybe you might just need somewhere to start again, reset life, just somewhere where you need to start all over again. And that will help with that. However, then what you have to say is, how are you going to get a consistent flow of income? Remote jobs are an option. However, they're far and few between. And some of them, a lot of them, 99.99% of them don't allow you to leave the country that you're in. So then it's like back to square one. So it is a very tough condition. Yeah, as I was saying, it's a very tough. It's very tough condition to be in. The only thing I see coming is by becoming a digital nomad. You know, starting something online. For example, as I've started here, a YouTube channel, a digital business, something where you can do something online for other people, where you get paid through there, and you're not location restricted. Location independency is the best, most luxurious thing that you can possibly have the freedom of achieving. If you achieve location independency and you're gaining you know, some sort of salary, whether it's online or whatever, I think that's the only way to combat, if you're an average person, the only way to combat this trap that's in the UK. And this brings us an end to this video. Guys, stay strong. If you're out there struggling, stay strong. The sun will shine on us again. If you can do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later in a bit.